Cancers, I'm Christy, you're watching Tiny Tuttle Tarot, and this is your reading for the week ahead, whenever it's found you. I'm trying to do timeless readings from now on of, if you see this pop up, in a month from now, 2 months from when I posted it, years from now, if YouTube's still about. It's your reading. It's found you at the right time. Trust the timing of your life. So, yeah. If something I say resonates, please let me know by liking and subscribing. And also, please know I'll never reply to your comments telling you to message me through WhatsApp. That's not me doing that. So block, report, or ignore. But just know it's not me. Let's go with your reading. What is happening for the beautiful Cancers this week? Firstly, you have the Queen of Swords, then you have the Ace of Swords, then you have the Six of Cups, the Hierophant, and the High Priestess. So I'll talk you through these cards and then clarify and get more out of them. But Queen of Swords firstly, you're putting up a boundary. You're speaking your mind. You're saying, I don't know, Cancer, usually I feel like there's something where you might filter your thoughts in order to come across as empathetic and warm as possible. And you're still empathetic and warm, but you're not concerned about whether people see you that way anymore. Everything you do is out of place of kindness in your heart, but you're just not concerned as to whether or not that is completely obvious. That's the difference. I think you're coming out of a place of, I need people to know I'm a good person, and then you're switching into, actually, I don't need people to know that because I know that. I know I'm a good person. It doesn't matter if anybody else perceives me that way. My heart's in a good place, and I believe that so strongly. I don't need anyone else to affirm it. I don't need this random tarot reader on YouTube to affirm it because I already know it, right? Like, but yeah, you don't need to prove to anyone, not even yourself anymore. You're trusting yourself to be able to move through the world regardless of people's perceptions of you. Ace of Swords right next to that, truth, clarity. You really are. There's something about speaking your mind, speaking and dealing truths to people out of the kindness of your heart. This is the energy of, I don't know, almost like someone has something on their face and you're the one that would be like, you got something on your face, like you, out of kindness. Rather in the past, or people around you could have been like, don't say anything, that's rude. Don't tell them it will be rude, or you'll upset them. And you're like, I'm willing to upset them temporarily in order for them to then thank me later. That at least someone told them, because someone had to do it. Someone had to tell them. It's very much like you're aware of the bigger picture. You're aware that, yeah, you're not afraid to say the truth in order to help people. The Six of Cups right next to that. This is an energy of returning to like your inner child, which is interesting because it's also like children would do the same thing. Children would be like, you got something on your face without even hesitating. And so it's like you're reconnecting with your inner child and being able to say what's what. Tell people what's what, say what's what. And I think it's more than just, oh, you've got something on your face. It's more than that, it's bigger than that. It's you just being able to very much, I feel like you're realigning with your inner child, the things your inner child wants to do, the places they want to go, the things they want to see, things they want to say to people, right? There could be something where you're going to be a bit more bolder and a bit more clear with your communication. Of someone might have something about them and you're just like, why do you, I don't know, like you're not afraid to say, have you always had that afro? That afro, you're rocking it. Have you always had it? Like there's just someone out of like a really strange, I don't know, like you're not afraid to break the expectations of what you should say and what you shouldn't say. I think there's very much with the Queen of Swords there that, and some people will be like, that's rude, that's harsh, you can't say that, you can't say, it's like, why not? You're just breaking out of this false idea of, oh, that's not polite, and going, why is it not polite? They have an afro. They have an afro, and I want to know if they've always had it or if it's like a recent thing. Hierophant right next to that. Hierophant is commitment. Hierophant is like tradition, spiritual awakening. I just got a really specific sentence come through. You're letting fear lead the way. You're letting fear lead the way for you. And it's right next to the Six of Cups and the High Priestess. You're trusting your intuition over your fear, but also listening to your fear because it's leading you to your most excited timeline. The thing you're most afraid of is the thing that will give you the most excitement and the most fulfillment if you had the courage to go after it. You're letting fear guide the way. I love that so much, and you're listening to your intuition as you go, in knowing you're safe and guided by your own higher self. Clarify the Queen of Swords. Clarify the Queen of Swords. Rebirth, death. Oh my goodness. I love this card so much. This is rising from the ashes. This is a whole new you. Like I said, this is a new you people aren't expecting. I don't know, I'm feeling like in conversations, in big and small ways, you're saying the thing people want to know about. Because I'm just getting like, no one else has the courage to ask you this, but I'm going to do it, right? Like there's something you're doing or saying where you're like, no one else in the room is going to say it, but someone has to, or, you know, like there's something where you're volunteering. You're like, I'll be the one. I'll say what needs to be said or ask what needs to be asked, because otherwise no one will and we'll never know. There's something where in just any conversation, little and big ways, you're saying a thing that people want to say but are afraid to. But like, it's really cool. It's really cool, and for some reason it's changing your life. And I know that sounds dramatic or like I'm exaggerating, but I'm not, because it's all the little things that make your life. And so when you're interacting with people differently and you're saying whatever you want to say, and you're just like, that was funny, because you're saying the thing. And it's not, I'm not saying you're making fun of anyone, you're saying genuinely you're excited, you're curious about things, you're asking important questions, you're not hiding in like, oh, what would be a normal way to interact, what would be a normal thing to say, what would be a normal thing to respond to this. You're like, what would be a really exciting thing, what would be something that would lead to a more impactful, deeper conversation. You're like, I'll ask the hard questions, I'll say the hard things, I'll go deeper, I'll be more real, I'll be more honest, because I don't like the shallow way we're talking to everyone. I'll be the one that makes it deeper. I'll be the one that cuts through it, cuts through all the crap, all of the like expectations of what you should and shouldn't say, and just say what you want to say. Clarify the Ace of Swords. I'm getting this in a relationship. Some of you are in a partnership with someone, but you've never actually gone deeper in conversations, or there's specific topics you really want to know more about this person, like a past or a history, and you're like, I'm so interested. But I can't. Like, they've got to come to me, they've got to open up to me, I won't pry, they'll tell me about it. And there's something now where you're like, no. Like the second the topic sort of comes up, you're like, I'm in there, I want to know about it, I'm curious. And I think there's something as well, like, I don't know why I feel like there's some energy of, if you don't follow your curiosity, you're almost abandoning a whole different life for yourself, because it's the domino effect of where things will lead, where conversations will take you to ideas and thoughts. Because if your ideas and your thoughts create your reality, right, because everything was once a thought, but you shut down certain thoughts, certain conversations, certain ideas, because you're like, oh, it's not appropriate, can't do it. But it's not, it's just what you think based on what you've already done. What you believe is okay to say and what isn't. It's just out of like a habit of how deep you go, how confident you are to ask the scary questions. Seven of Pentacles, clarifying the Ace of Swords. Something about patience. You're sick of waiting. You're cutting through that, right? Like, look, that's someone waiting for the fruit to grow. There's an Ace of Swords here of you going, I'm not waiting anymore, I'm just going to cut this down. I'm just going to cut this down and find the fruit that's growing for me, because I know it's in there somewhere. There's something where you're refusing to wait any longer for answers. If there's something you've been waiting for answers on, communication, clarity, and you've been waiting for this person to come to you, or you've been waiting for a certain thing to come through, look into it deeper, see what you can do, ask. What's wrong with asking? I don't know, I feel as if there's something that you may have felt like things should come to you naturally, and that's not me saying that's not the case, but if you've been waiting and waiting and waiting, it's obviously not coming. It's obviously not coming. If you've been waiting and waiting and waiting years and years and years and you've not got answers, go and create those answers, go and make and find those answers that you're looking for. Clarify the Six of Cups, like childlike curiosity. Clarify the Six of Cups. Queen of Cups, I knew it. There's a whole overarching energy of overarching energy of warmth and love coming from you, and that is the exact reason why you aren't afraid to say what needs to be said, because it's like they're gonna thank me later. I don't know what this is about, but it actually feels like your energy, like I said, actually all through the week, every interaction you're having, you're like, what could I say to make this person's life better? What is something that they're not noticing about themselves that I want to bring attention to out of love? There's going to be some things that are immediately positive, and there's going to be some things where they don't want to hear it. But it's, some of you are therapists, and you're listening, right? And you've been listening, and you've been listening, and you've been listening, and it's your job to listen. And you're actually going to stop doing that, and you're going to go, okay, I've heard enough. You're not going to want to hear this. But from a lens zoomed out, I can see very clearly you should, if I were in your shoes, from everything you've told me and have been telling me, go and do it. Say it. Don't, like, there's some guidance that you very clearly obviously have, but you're like, I'm scared to tell them that. They don't want to hear that. I'm supposed to just listen, and that is your job. And there's something where you're actually breaking through the mold of your usual job, your usual routine, because you're like, well, it's not changing anything. There's someone that in particular, maybe you're their therapist. Maybe you're not an actual therapist, but you're this person's acting therapist. They come to you for a shoulder to lean on, for someone to listen to them, and you're like, they're telling me the same thing every single day. Every single day they're complaining about their relationship, or they're saying the same thing about their family life, their work life, their health, whatever it may be. And you're like, I'm sick of hearing the same thing, but no action done towards it. So you're going to say, what's like bold action you can take to change this? Because it's either going to go well or it isn't, but like it can't get any worse. What's some bold action you can create to cause change? I think you're going to tell someone to do something, to change something. It's almost like they don't want to hear that, because they're going to realise, oh, yeah, true, I've not changed anything. I've not changed. And there's someone that refuses to change. It keeps crying to you or talking to you about something, and you're like, I'm sick of hearing it. And then, yeah, I think you're going to say basically what no one in the past had the courage to tell them. But to also people in general. I don't know what's going on. Clarify the Hierophant. Clarify the Hierophant. You have the Nine of Wands. Some of you, there's something about a commitment being closed off. There's a wall up around you to a higher commitment. I don't know what that's about. Could be in your relationship. Your relationship wants to go further, some of you, and you're closed off to that idea. Someone's like, do you want to get married? And you're like, ugh. What for? Why would you want that? I don't know, there's some type of commitment though coming in. Someone's like, someone you might help out is like, oh, do you want a job with us? And you're like, ugh. I just like helping you out because there's no pressure, and you want me to work for you full time. Ugh. I don't know why that's coming through. Why are you doing that noise? Why am I doing that noise? Clarify the Hierophant. The High Priestess, sorry, this is actually counterparts. The High Priestess and the Hierophant. So I don't know why I felt the need to say that. Someone could be very much a very good match for you, and you're then, because of that, like, oh no, but everything's going so well, why would we change anything? Why would we need to do that? Five of Pentacles, clarifying the High Priestess. Your intuition could cause you to feel a bit alone this week, because there could be something you know nobody else knows, or if you tell them about it they don't believe you and they call you crazy, or they look at you like they just don't get you, and it leaves you feeling quite isolated because you're ahead of the game. You're the like black sheep of the family. You're like, I feel a lot of you have been hiding your power for a very long time, because I'm getting a wolf in sheep's clothing, and it feels as if that's exactly the case of you've blended in, and then the second you're trying to, like I'm saying, you're saying things. You're saying whatever you want to say, even if people don't want to hear it, and there's something there where you're being more open with your intuitive feelings about things. You could have a feeling something's going to happen in the world, and you're like, the aliens are coming, or, you know, the government fueled alien invasion is coming, whatever it may be, and people around you are going, huh? That's funny. And there's something where it's like, you're then like, oh, alright, sorry, never mind, just kidding. Just kidding, never mind, because people aren't hearing you. But just know it doesn't actually matter if people listen and believe you. Take yourself seriously even if no one else is, because your intuition is on point. Whatever it is about, it's not about aliens, but there's something where whatever your intuition is about, take it seriously. Especially if no one else is, someone has to, so let it be you. I'm going to wrap this reading up here. Thank you so much for watching. If anything I said resonated or you know it will in the future, please let me know by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next Tuesday for Tiny Tall Tarot Tuesdays.